Here's a number that should make every business partner stop and pay attention. 67% of multi-member LLCs that dissolve do so not because the business failed, but because the partners failed. Disagreements over money, power, who gets to make decisions, who gets to leave, and on whose terms. And the most painful part, almost every single one of those breakups could have been prevented with one document. Not a lawyer on retainer, not years of litigation. One document, your operating agreement, drafted with the right clauses in the right way. If you are starting a business with a partner, a co-founder, a family member, or even a close friend, and you do not have these 5 specific clauses locked into your operating agreement, you are one bad quarter, one disagreement, or one unexpected life event away from watching everything you built fall apart. Stay until the end, because clause number 5 is the one most people completely ignore, and it's the one that saves businesses when everything else goes wrong. Let's set the foundation real quick. An operating agreement is the internal rulebook of your LLC. It defines how your business runs, how profits flow, how decisions get made, and critically, what happens when things go sideways. Now here's what most people get wrong. They either skip it entirely because their state doesn't legally require one, or they download a generic template from the internet that gives them false security. A bad operating agreement is sometimes worse than none at all because it creates ambiguity, and ambiguity in business is expensive. For a multi-member LLC, meaning any LLC with 2 or more owners, your operating agreement is not optional. It is the single most important legal document you will ever create for that business. These 5 clauses are what separates an agreement that protects you from one that just checks a box. Clause number 1, ownership percentages and capital contributions. This sounds obvious, it isn't. Your operating agreement must clearly state who owns what percentage of the LLC, and it must also document what each member contributed to earn that percentage. Was it cash, equipment, intellectual property, sweat equity, time? Here's why this matters more than you think. What happens if one partner puts in $50,000 and the other puts in their expertise, and 6 months later that partner leaves? Without a documented capital contribution clause, you could end up in a legal battle over what that expertise was actually worth. Your agreement should also address future contributions. What happens if the business needs more capital down the line? Are members required to contribute? Do they have the option? Does contributing more money change their ownership percentage? Services like Northwest Rigitet, Zen Business, and Taylor Brands offer operating agreement templates and LLC formation packages that help you get this structure right from day one, so you're not starting from a blank page or a risky generic download. Lock in the numbers, document the contributions, do it in writing. That's clause 1. Clause number 2, how profits and losses are distributed and when. This is the one that ends more partnerships than any other. Most people assume profit distribution simply follows ownership percentage. 50-50 ownership means 50-50 profits. Not necessarily, and that assumption is dangerous. Your operating agreement needs to specify the exact method of distribution, whether it's proportional to ownership, based on a fixed schedule, or tied to performance or capital contributions. And here's the clause within the clause that most people miss: guaranteed payments. It should also specify when distributions happen: monthly, quarterly, at the discretion of the managing member. And here's the clause within the clause that most people miss: guaranteed payments. If one member is actively managing the business and another is a silent investor, does the active member receive a salary or guaranteed payment before profits are split? This needs to be spelled out. Without this, you will have a managing member who feels underpaid and a passive investor who feels overcharged. That tension builds and it breaks businesses. LegalZoom, Rocket Lawyer, and Inc. Authority are platforms where you can work with legal professionals to customize these distribution terms to your specific setup, because your business model is unique and your agreement should reflect that. Clause number 3, voting rights and decision-making authority. Who has the final say? A deadlock with no resolution process in your agreement means one thing: a judge decides for you. Your operating agreement must define What decisions require unanimous consent, things like adding a new member, taking on significant debt, or selling the business. What decisions can be made by a majority, day-to-day operations, vendor contracts, hiring decisions, and who holds managing authority. If you have a designated managing member, their powers and limitations must be explicitly outlined. Platforms like Harbor Compliance and Swift Filing specialize in making sure your operating agreement is not just legally compliant but operationally structured for how your business actually makes decisions. Power without clarity creates conflict. Clause 3 eliminates that. Clause number 4, what happens when a member wants out? This is the clause people always say they'll deal with later, never comes at a good time. What happens if a member dies, gets divorced, and their spouse is suddenly entitled to their ownership stake, wants to sell their share to a complete stranger, goes through bankruptcy? Your operating agreement needs a buyout clause, sometimes called a buy-sell agreement, that defines exactly how a departing member's interest is valued and purchased. It should include a right of first refusal, meaning existing members have the first opportunity to buy out a departing member before any outside party can acquire ownership. This protects the integrity of your business from unwanted partners. You also need a valuation method. Will you use a fixed price, a third-party appraisal, a formula based on revenue or EBITDA? Agreeing on this now while everyone is friendly is infinitely easier than doing it in the middle of a dispute. Breezy and Zen Business offer tools that help structure these buyout provisions properly during the formation process, so you're protected from day one, not scrambling when things get complicated. Here is clause number 5, the one most people ignore: dispute resolution. No matter how well you structure everything else, disagreements will happen. A dispute resolution clause determines how you resolve conflicts without immediately running to a courtroom. At minimum, your agreement should require mediation first. A neutral third party helps both sides reach an agreement. If mediation fails, the next step is typical arbitration, a binding process that is faster and far less expensive than litigation. Your clause should also specify which state's laws govern the agreement and where disputes will be handled geographically. This single clause can save you tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees. It forces both parties to try to resolve things like adults before escalating, and in many cases, it saves the business entirely. Rocket Lawyer is particularly strong here. They give you access to real attorneys who can help you draft a dispute resolution language that is enforceable and appropriate for your state and situation. Ignore this clause and you are gambling with your business. Don't do it. So, let's bring it all together. A multi-member LLC operating agreement with these 5 clauses: ownership and capital contributions, profit distribution, voting rights, member exit and buyout provisions, and dispute resolution is the difference between a business that can weather any storm and one that collapses the moment things get hard. And the good news, you do not need to figure this out alone. Whether you use Northwest Registered Agent for registered agent services and document prep, LegalZoom or Rocket Lawyer for attorney-reviewed agreements, Zen Business or Taylor Brands for full LLC formation with operating agreement support, Swift Filings or Inc. Authority for fast and affordable filing, or Harbor Compliance if you are operating across multiple states, there is a solution built for exactly where you are right now. Links to all these platforms are in the description below. If this video helped you, give it a like, drop a comment with which clause surprised you the most, and subscribe, because every week we break down exactly what you need to know to build your business the right way, legally and strategically. Don't build on a weak foundation. Get your operating agreement right before you need it. I'll see you in the next one.